Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I have a question for you guys. Do you ever feel like you talk negatively to yourself and about yourself? We all do that at some point in our life, but I am here to help you stop that bad habit. So I have 3 tips on how to stop negative self-talk, so let's get into the video. Number 1 is to try to catch yourself before it comes out of your mouth. Before it comes out of your mouth, and change it. So before it even comes out of your mouth, before you even speak it, change the narrative. Change whatever it is. If it's a negative thought, change it to a positive thought immediately before you even speak it, and then speak the positive. Don't speak it. Don't speak it if it's negative. If it's negative, don't let it come out of your mouth, because then you'll start believing it. If you start thinking it, you're gonna start believing it. So don't even let it come out of your mouth. Don't even give it that energy. Don't let it come out of your mouth. Don't speak it. And go ahead and say the positive. Even if you don't believe it right away, go ahead and say the positive out loud. Because the more you say the positive out loud, the more you're going to start believing the positive. So say the positive out loud. Don't say negative out loud. Change it, change it, change it. If that negative thought comes in your mind, change it immediately so that you don't feel like you are like, oh my gosh, I'm this or I'm that, and I'm going to say that negative thing about myself. Don't do it, because that's where negative self-talk comes in. And negative self-talk is such a slippery slope. It is such a battle to deal with, because when we think so negative about ourselves, then we're going to just start thinking all these negative thoughts all the time. But if we catch it and we change it immediately and we start thinking positive about ourselves, we're going to start seeing the positives in ourselves. We're going to start seeing the good things, the positive things in our life instead of all the negative. We're going to start being kind to ourselves, because that's what we need to be. We need to be kind to ourselves. We don't need all this negativity towards ourselves, because then we're going to start believing it. And then we're going to go into this black hole of believing these horrible negative things. And then we're going to be so negative on ourselves. And we're going to be like, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. And those are just lies. They're lies from Satan. They are not what God thinks about you. God wants you to think all these positive things about yourself and not these negative things and all the negative self-talk. That's where it comes from. It comes from Satan. It comes from insecurity. It comes from not believing in yourself. That's where it comes from. It doesn't come from God. It doesn't come from the positive things in our life. It doesn't come from that. Number 2 is to speak to yourself like you are talking to a friend. Would you tell a friend that their hair is ugly? Would you tell a friend that they're overweight? Would you tell a friend that they're too skinny? Would you tell a friend that their eyebrows are too close to their face? Would you tell, or too close together? Would you tell a friend that their eyes aren't pretty? Or would you tell a friend that they are the most negative person in the world and you don't like them? Would you tell a friend any of those things that I just said? Because I don't think you would. You wouldn't tell your friend all these negative things about themselves. So why would you go and tell yourself those negative things? Why aren't you talking to yourself like you would a friend? That makes no sense. Talk to yourself like you're talking to a friend. If you are going to be positive to a friend and all their good attributes and all the good things about them, then why aren't you saying it about yourself? I encourage you to say those kind of things to yourself like you are talking to a friend. Let yourself be your friend first, and then a friend to someone else, and speak kindly to yourself like you would your best friend. If you tell your best friend that they're beautiful, yet you're still calling yourself ugly, don't do that. Call yourself beautiful too. Speak to yourself like you were speaking to your best friend. or any friend. Speak to yourself kindly. Speak to yourself like you are the most joyous, most positive person in the world. Talk to yourself kindly, because when you talk to yourself kindly, you will start to believe those things about yourself, and you will start believing the truth about yourself. And you'll change the narrative. That goes back to changing the narrative. Change the narrative to something positive, to where you're talking to yourself, but it's like you're talking to a friend, and you're speaking so positive about yourself that you start to believe the positive thoughts that you're putting into your mind. If you speak negative thoughts constantly, you're going to think negative about yourself, and it's going to be a constant battle of negative self-talk. But if you speak positive and positive self-talk, then you're going to believe that about yourself. You're going to believe in yourself. So talk to yourself like you are talking to a friend. I promise it's worth every second of it. It really is. So talk to yourself. Please talk to yourself kindly, and talk to yourself like you would your best friend. Because in all honesty, we are our own worst critic. We are our own worst critic. We are down on ourselves all the time because we think that we could be better, or we could improve this about ourselves, or we could do this different, or we could do this different. When a friend is going to be encouraging and lift you up, and they're not going to be that critical on you like you are yourself. So if you're talking to yourself like a friend would, they're not going to be as critical on you as you are yourself, because we are our own worst critic. So that's why it's so important to talk to yourself like you're talking to a friend, because at the end of the day, you're not going to talk to a friend like mean, hateful, having these hateful comments towards your friend. You're not going to do that. You're going to be loving and kind. So be loving and kind to yourself. Always ask yourself before you say anything to yourself, would I say this to my friend? Would I say what I'm about to say to myself to my friend? If the answer is no, don't say it to yourself. If the answer is yes, say it to yourself. That will help you change it. That will help you start talking positively to yourself. So always ask that question to yourself. Number 3 is replace the negative talk with affirmation and action. Talk positive affirmations to yourself every single day. Every single day, have these positive affirmations, whether you have them written out, whether you have them on your mirror, whether you have them in your head, whatever it is, say them out loud every single day. Talk constantly positive affirmations to yourself every single day. Every time a negative thought comes in your mind, replace it with those positive affirmations. And prove to yourself every single day with positive affirmations and reinforcement and action, taking action. You need to prove to yourself you are the positive thing. You are positive. You are amazing. You are going to talk positive to yourself. Prove that to yourself every single day, because if you keep proving how positive you are and all these things about yourself, then you will start to believe it. So prove that to yourself every single day of the week. Prove it, prove it, prove it, because if you do that, I promise you will change that negative talk right up, and you will start talking positively to yourself, which is so important. So I want to challenge you guys. I want to wrap this video up with a challenge. Write down or say in the mirror 3 positive affirmations to yourself every single morning in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror and say 3 positive affirmations. And when those negative thoughts come, you have those 3 in the back of your mind that you can change it with. So every morning, have 3 positive affirmations that you say to yourself every single day, and keep it the same. Let it be repetitive so that you will start believing it. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment any other videos you'd like to see, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Bye!